Good morning, Brian with Grand Roofing, and it's tip time. Some little tips and tricks I've come to develop over the years. Hopefully it'll save you, so taking a few minutes to show you. If you could, give it a thumbs up on the way in. Over the years, I was tired of working with people that didn't care about their job. They didn't care about streamlining and speeding up processes. They didn't care about wasting material. So on a Gable end, that's what we're going to talk about, pre-cutting the lead here. When I first started roofing, guys would just throw the material down, shoot it, roof all the way up, come back later, cut it, throw it down, and it's just trash and waste. With the ever-inflating prices over the past couple years, you really got to consider the amount you can save. Just a few percent every year on every job, or every job every year, it saves up to be a lot. The reason I kind of started doing this wasn't necessarily for that, but just the time savings. I was tired of working with guys that didn't care about their job. They just wanted to show up, get a paycheck, didn't care how things, the process, never streamlined. But let's face it, humans are naturally just lazy. They want more for less. So that's kind of what the premise of the pre-cutting the lead is here. So the time it takes to go back and grab your knife and cut the shingle and set it down and put your shingle back up and shoot it off. Anyway, enough blabbing. Let's just get into the video. So to start off real quick, I will say this is an exposed porch for the pool back here, so there's no ice and water on this. There's drip edge down here. Material is all provided. I'm just here throwing it up for them. We're going to talk briefly about the starter offset going up the Gable here, but more importantly, we're going to focus on the shingle and how it saves a lot of time, at least my opinion of it. Look at your manufacturer. Some manufacturers might have certain strict guidelines, so read up over that. That would trump what I say. This is just for your entertainment purposes only. This really saves a lot of time. Look at your shingle size. Different brands might be different. Basically, what I will do is I'll start with one full shingle. I'm going to measure it. I'm going to divide it so it breaks to an even inch number or whatever the measurement is. In this case, it's roughly 6.5 inches. I'll mark a line every 6.5 inches. I already did this off camera because I can't hold my phone and do all this. So here's the marks. That was the first cut. This will be second, third, fourth, fifth. I already went through a whole cut. Lay your shingle down, cut the first one, repeat the process. When you get them cut and you stack them, this is a little tip, be cautious. Don't stack them all smooth and just throw them down, because these will stick together. If you've ever roofed, you know on a hot summer day they're going to be really active and stick together, and then this is just pointless. You'll throw them all down in the trash pile. So when you got your first full tab, you cut it, or first full shingle, you cut it. Your cut piece, your single little tab, throw it right over here, and repeat the process. So you're going to build up from small to big, and you're going to go from big to small. In this case, it's 5 cut shingles. The sixth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth will be a full shingle. So when you start this, well, let me just show you. Also, some of the basics here too. You need to make sure you hang down your shingle off the starter, and you need to make sure you offset it. Just the other day, I did a video. I had to cancel notification, sorry there, about you need to offset your starter row. It's very important. If not, you stack your shingle with a keyway here of the starter row, it's going to drip in, causing issues. You want to make sure your nail placement is low. As they stated, this is T-drip or D-drip, whichever they call it, and it hangs down a little bit, so you want to not shoot through and have it blow out that void in the bottom, but you want to keep them as low as you can to that seal strip so it's pinned down, so when your next shingle sticks, it's bonded down. Same up the Gable. You want to offset these, hanging them over a little bit. And you also want to make sure your nails are kind of close to the outer edge. Again, it's drip edge with a little void under it, so you don't want to go out so far you blow through and it looks horrible. You just want to keep those close. That way when your shingles come up, it's good. But instead of starting to roof this and you got to reach down here and cut it, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, it doesn't matter. You still got to set your gun down, switch, and fiddle around. It's really simple and easy. With this method, by the way, you cut enough coming down here with about a 5 to 6 inch stagger offset on these. It's about the same of an exposure. So if your cuts stack, like this stack here is right under that one, this one, I got one more to cut, you don't have to stop. It'll basically be the amount you need to get all the way up the lead. You're going to start with your full shingle. Get it down there, shoot that off. Then you're going to start with your first big tab and repeat the process all the way down to the small tab. When you have your first small tab up here, you take a full shingle and you run it, over the edge. So if you got your small tab, shingle butts to it, the next course is a full shingle. Then you go to your opposing side you cut. Real simple process, just run it up all the way. Also, if you happen to see back here, this is not filled in. We are doing ice and water in the valley, but the seal strip on the shingles over there are pretty aggressively sealed, so I wanted to wait, let the sun heat this up a little bit before I flat bar stagger pattern out the valley. We're going to then put a piece of coil stock down the middle of this, because the builders, at least on the other side, there's quite a bit of a gap here. It's not going to take much metal, just a small thin piece. Tack it down so it's supporting the shingles a little bit better. On the other side, there's a little bigger gap. You don't want the finished product, somebody to be up here, walk in it and smash it. At that point, we'll put the ice and water down, then fold these tabs back over, because if you ever have anything on this paper, you want it to drip onto your ice and water, and then eventually repeating the process down and out. Oh, I think I covered it all. We're at 5 minutes. I guess time to wrap up. Notifications. Hopefully you liked the video, you got something beneficial out of it. Drop a comment down below if you got any other little tips and tricks you want to add to it. I do this to share with what I know. It's really saved me a ton of time in streamlining things. You can have some good quality speed with a good quality install. Whoopee, more notifications. I apologize, still recording, yeah. So the guys that just want to be fast and they just sacrifice on quality because I see it all the time. It starts from the top, from the owners and the management down to the guys. If they don't like their job, they don't care. You could have a company that has a great reputation, but the guys on the job just don't care. No different than the video I just did about the HVAC B vent flue pipe coming through the roof. You may have a tradesman with a license and all that jazz, and then he sends some new guy out there working towards getting his journeyman's card or wherever trade he may be in or whatever is required in your area, and he just doesn't care because his boss doesn't care about him. So it starts from the top, as they say, the cookie crumble runs downhill. Whatever. Yeah, I just totally botched that. It's getting hot. Sun's on the rise, working solo, got to get back to the crew. Hopefully you liked it. Until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next video.